Hey everybody, Wolfie here. We're getting time to get stuff out for tree tapping. Um, as I've pointed out in the last couple videos for the spring, is I'm running a little late on maple season this year. I should have got started a couple weeks ago, and I'm kind of going into probably the last 2 weeks at the most for tapping the maple trees. Sorry for the glare. It's pretty bright out today. um, but yeah, time to start getting all the stuff out. Uh, get some trees tapped, and we'll get to try out the Separator 4000 later in the week. Okay, let's get stuff done. So here's my storage for my tree tapping supplies. All except for the drill over there on the table, of course. I need it year round. But the bag here, this is 6 brand new collecting bottles that I brought back. I've got this box full. I've got pop 2-liter pop bottles in the bin with all my other stuff. So we got to get stuff unpacked here and get going. Okay, we don't need to unpack that. This, like I said, is all bottles. I've got quite a few in here. Some of them I've already got the caps drilled for the hoses. Let's see, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 with drilled caps, which works out. Alex, stop that. You can't touch that. I'm gonna have to drill a couple more out. I'll set them there, and we'll get into the good stuff. I have my new sap pan that I haven't got to use yet. Me and Harley checked yesterday, and this fits really nice on top of the Separator 4000 oven. I'd like to have a second one of them, or I'm looking at ways to build or make a proper sap pan. Okay, so I've got 5. There's 5 with good hoses, caps with good hoses on. These ones here, you can see how the sun and age has gotten to these hoses here. I'm replacing them this year with, there's another 5 with good hoses, but I picked up 20 feet of brand new hose, and we're gonna get these ones changed out to new ones. Oh, lots more bottles in here. That's 2 liters. I got my other boiling pot, and inside it is my little collecting pail. Now I might be able to put both pots on the top of the separator. I'm hoping so anyway. I think they'll fit. This is all my finished stuff for while I'm boiling. I've got my cheesecloth for when I do my straining. I've got my little tiny fine strainer in here to set the cheesecloth in. I got my mason jar cap that the funnel sits into. This keeps, what this is 3 mason jar rings, and I got them all taped together, and I can set my funnel in the top, and this keeps it high enough out of the mason jar that I can actually fill the mason jar without the funnel being dipped down into it. So it's a handy little throw together invention that I made. Now here's an important item we need out. This is all my other taps. I've got my fancy scissors, my pouring jug. An important thing you need when boiling, you don't have to have it, but it sure helps a lot. Candy thermometer. Now this one has this cool little movable red piece here, and you can set it so it's really easy through the steam. Now I want 220, so let's see, 10. I want it right about there. That's where I want my marker. The 220 mark. That way when the needle comes around and gets to, so it lines up with my little red marker, I know I'm at my 220 point for boiling. But it's got a nice little clip on it. I can clip it right on the side of the pot like this, and it just sits in the pot just like that. And it's a really big help. The other thing I want to pick up, I probably won't have it for this year, but I will for next year when I get start getting things expanded more, is I want to get a syrup hydrometer. But like I said, that's a next year thing probably. They're not expensive, they're just hard to get locally. Okay, now I gotta get to work and get some trees tapped. These can go back in here for the time being. I need my taps, and I need some taps with some good hose. We're good to go. Okay, so we're on tree number 6. These the smaller size reusable shopping bags are awesome for this. With me using the juice bottles, they hold perfectly. We'll carry 6 bottles. Plus you can throw your hoses and taps in the bag with them. Okay, so I've just drilled this one. For those that don't know yet, what you do is you take your south side of your maple tree and you drill in a little bit longer than the distance of your tap. And as you might be able to make out there, the sap is just pouring out of that hole. But you want your hole on just a slight downward angle. And like I said, you want it a little bit longer than the length of your tap spout when using these plastic ones, especially because there's no inlet holes on them, just the end. So then once you've got all the gunk cleaned out of the hole, get my hammer out here and you just tap it in. And usually you can almost immediately start seeing the sap flowing. You can already see the moisture getting in the hose here. And dripping out. That's how good the sap's flowing today. So yeah, there's a big thing. You want a decent sized maple tree. 10-inch, 12-inch, or bigger. And you drill your hole on the south side and on just a slight downward angle. And tap your tap in. Don't hammer it in too hard. Remember, you got to pull these out afterwards. So yeah, and that hose is filling up. I better get busy and get a bottle on this. But as I was showing, I've got a hole drilled through the lid of the bottle. No spillage, no contamination that way. And yeah, you can see it. The hose is filled and coming out the end and pouring all over. So yeah, I'm right at I've got a really good time for tapping these right now. So I think I've bonused. This is number 6. I'd like to get at least 10, maybe even 12 in today. And then I can get busy with trying out the separator and boiling down some syrup. But I wanted to share again, how, like, what to do for actually putting your tap in. And the rules don't matter what type of tap you're using. Whether it's the old metal ones with buckets that hang right from the tap, or whether it's these plastic ones or some other type of plastic ones, don't matter. It's the same thing for all of them. Decent sized maple tree, minimum of 10 to 12 inch, like this baby right here. That's a beautiful tree. And slight downward angle. You drill your hole a little longer than your tap, the part that's going to be in the tree. Make sure you use your drill, no matter what type of drill you're using. And clean all the gunk out, like the shavings and that, all got to be cleaned out of the hole where they'll plug up your tap and hose. And that's about it. You run your tap and hose, or your tap and bucket, or whichever you're using, and then you wait. Get away from the camera. Leave the camera away. First batch of saps on. There's 8 liters there. Minus what I just spilled on top, and now there's syrup on it. Melted onto the pan. Got my thermometer in. Hopefully it'll work well. Oh. Now for the long, slow part of the process. Almost time for the finishing pan. I'm pretty good. There we go, we got the first batch in the finishing pot. Just got to bring it back to a boil. She's almost done. Should end up with half a pint from that. Started out as 10 liters, so I should get a quarter of a liter. It's 250 milliliters. Got everything ready in the cabin for filtering it as I put it into a mason jar, and then from the mason jar it'll get transferred with a second filter into its little bottle that it'll be in. So yeah, it's been a good day, and me and Alex made a trip out to the road while this stuff was boiling. Got a couple more of my skids and some of my smaller lumber. So yeah, almost there. Smells and tastes so good. Okay, time for some filtering here. Got my first filter set up in. Got the second one all set to go. This should fill this mason jar about half full. Maybe a little less than half. Because of the stuff that gets stuck in the filter. That looks like about half. Tiny bit less. Okay, set the pot over. Do not need the finished pot no more. What we do is slide this over a little closer to the sink. Take the filter, cheesecloth filter out. Put the new one in. Got this all set up with my little strainer and my funnel. Got zip ties holding it, and I can just hinge it. Works awesome. Okay, so before we set that into the other jar, we gotta take our funnel holder off. Set it into our final jar. This is probably going to be a little thin. But it should fill this jar. Yeah. Perfect. It's just a matter of letting it cool now. We got 2 little squares for filters. I've got lots of cheesecloth filter. Me and Jeanette made sure I stocked up good on that. I'd like to get a really nice metal funnel for doing this. I will have one by next year. Take this filter out. This will be easy to wash. Set it here for now. Probably going to end up with syrup all over the counter now. Our big Ziploc of cheesecloth. So yep, here we go. First bottle syrup for this year. Like I said, probably a little thin. I'm okay with that. I got a spoon right here. Try it out. It started to thicken up pretty good as soon as it hit that cold spoon. Perfect taste. This bottle is done. Just gotta let it cool off, and then I can put the cap on. And yeah, so there's the starts to the 2021 syrup batch from Alex Draza's Sugar Bush. Alex has been having a lot of fun chasing the bike around this week and helping me go collect sap the last 2 days. Yeah, we ended up with 10 liters yesterday, another 10 around noon today, and I noticed on my way back in the trail that several bottles are full or very close to it as we went by them, so I've got to go collect it again. Oh, but yeah, judging by the looks of this bottle of syrup, the Saperator 4000 is a successful build. I just need either another, actually the pan that I got there seems to have worked pretty good. I can do all my sap and syrup up in batches this size, quarter or half pint size, and yep, should work out awesome. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. That's another year of syrup making on the go. This is I guess this will make my 4th year. Yeah, this is my 4th year making it. Last year's was a little iffy. It's kind of got a burnt flavor to it on the big batch that I did. So I'm going to continue working in small batches now, and it took, let's see, from about 10 o'clock this morning to, it's going on 5 o'clock, so that's 7 hours. So yeah, 7 hours to do up that half pint batch for all my other Canadians and other Celsius and metric type people. That's 250 milliliters approximately, and I'm hoping for 1.5 liters total before I'm done. So lots to do. I've still got 10 liters of sap sitting outside, and like I said, I noticed some of the bottles were getting pretty full, so I'm gonna have to go collect again. And I never know, maybe I'll have another 10. That's 3/4 liter right there. But yeah, aiming for 1.5 liters, maybe more if I'm lucky. And then we're also going to try birch syrup a little bit later in the season. So we'll talk to everyone later. I'll give everyone a update later in the week or next week when I'm closer to my final totals. So everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching.